What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. So last week we were talking about going through the garage, cleaning everything out, getting rid of stuff we don't need, either throwing it away, trying to sell it, or kind of reorganizing the garage to free up some more space. Normally this isn't something that I would have filmed, but we have had quite a few comments about people asking about the garage, saying the garage looks great, wish they had the setup, stuff like that. So on our Facebook and Instagram, a lot of comments about the garage, and I figured, hey, why not show you guys what I did to make my garage. So, and we'll go through that as we go and start cleaning out, but I'll go ahead and give you guys kind of like the tour right now, and then after that we'll start cleaning things up. So kind of the first thing I did when I got the house was I went ahead and did some cheap epoxy paint on the floors, and you know, it holds up pretty well. Brake fluid and gasoline and stuff like that, it's had its messes for sure. It holds up pretty well. This is just the cheap stuff. It's not like the like actual setting epoxy. It's more like a paint epoxy, so not too bad. Matches. I had some of it when it came with the house, so I just went ahead and used it. But the next thing I did was I went ahead and did the color scheme: white on top, gray on bottom, black and red stripe. Always wanted some type of color scheme in my garage, and I figured why not do it here. So it's all the way around, it's 360. The entire garage has the same paint scheme. So once the paint was done, I went ahead and made this shelf, and as you can see, there's a bunch of paint, jack stands, table saw, stuff like that. So this is mainly what I want to focus on over here and up there and stuff like that. So I want to get all the parts that we don't need out of these bins and then free up some more space around there. So I went ahead and made these shelves, and these are just some 2x4s. They're lagged to the wall. That's a concrete wall. And then I have some little supports at the bottom so they don't move around. But I mean, these things are sturdy. I climb on them all day long and they ain't going anywhere. So very cheap, very efficient, nice little frame. And then just some real thin plywood. At the time, plywood didn't cost $85 a sheet, so I still went with the thinner stuff just because it didn't need to be so thick. And I did the same thing over here, just a smaller version of it. We had the electrical box there, and I knew I was going to put a compressor somewhere in the garage. I didn't know if I was going to do it down there or in the middle or even on the other side. But when I got it, I kind of placed it over there, and it seemed to fit pretty well. Didn't have to do a whole bunch of wiring. As you can see, there's the whip coming off of the compressor into the box, and I like this separately than using these small little on and off, because those tend to wear out quite often, and these are pretty heavy duty. So if I ever need to, I can pop this open. Got my fuses right there, and yeah, it's hardwired, works great, never had any problems. Went ahead and put the reel over there. Had to piece together a whole bunch of air fittings and stuff like that. So that is a water air separator with a tool oiler, which I had problems with putting too much oil into the air, which kind of caused my air tools to gum up. So I no longer use that. I just manually fill them up whenever I need to. And yeah, that's about it. As you guys can see, we use some of it for parts, oils, cleaners, rags. Like, it's just kind of all over the place. There's stuff under here. There's drywall I gotta get rid of. There's the stuff for the Corvette, the engine that's just hanging out, some other random stuff, bumpers for the Camaro. I don't remember what's in there. Just random stuff everywhere. So this is mostly filled with house stuff, wire, like your typical home good stuff. Right, a bunch of hardware, tools, miscellaneous stuff that is not necessarily automotive. Here we have the main workbench, and these are two Husky, I want to say these are 46-inch toolboxes, something like that. So all random stuff, whole bunch of sockets. Some of it's kind of empty. I do need to go through here and reorganize a little bit better, so just to kind of clean up some clutter. Still a lot of random storage in here, random stuff I gotta get rid of. So I think the HID headlights from my old truck are in here somewhere. I don't know, just stuff we gotta get rid of and make some more space. So these are the pegboard things. I think these are like from Blue Hawk. We got these from Lowe's. I went with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So my original plan was to do 2 sets of them. So one row at top, one row at bottom. but it didn't seem that I needed that much. So I went ahead and did one row, got some magnetic bars for screwdrivers and stuff like that. Some good old Harbor Freight Allen keys, magnets for welding and stuff like that, some blades, you know, all the usual stuff. So most of this stuff was actually from Amazon. So I want to say the magnetic bars were the Stanley outlets. I think those are from Harbor Freight. These kind of suck. I do want to upgrade these here in the future. I got one up there too for the light and anything I got to charge. So batteries up here. Got these cool tool racks from eBay. Some dude was selling them. I think I got all three of these for like 65 bucks. So pretty neat to have, pretty nice that you can just kind of hang everything up. And yeah, I think they're pretty nice. They are just raw steel, so they do got a little bit of rust on them. Not a big deal. Maybe I'll paint them, probably not. But yeah, just wanted to show you guys my setup. And you know, the top shelf is floating with some supports down below. These were not necessary. I just wanted to put those there just for kind of ease of mind. And you know, if I do ever put anything really heavy up there, I know it'll support it. So the plan is to empty the garage, kind of get everything off the shelves and clean them up a little bit because they are kind of dusty and dirty from when we did the Camaro. But got everything off the shelf and try to reorganize it in a way that makes more sense. You know, either put parts in one location, oils and tools, or, you know, oils and cleaners and stuff like that in another location. That way not everything is so spread out and everything is right where it should be. Kind of like, not really an OCD freak, but I do like my garage to be nice and clean. Same thing with my house. So that's why the garage stays pretty clean. The biggest reason why I want to do this is Austin's coming home. He's bringing his car. He's bringing his parts. So I need more room in the garage. That way we have plenty of space for parts and, you know, upcoming stuff and whatnot. So with the Camaro in here, with the Corvette in here at the same time, it's a little tight. I can make some more room to, you know, better fit the vehicles in here because the Corvette does stay in the garage. It will stay in the garage when the Camaro's back. It might have to, you know, spend the night outside a few times, so be it. Not a big deal. But we're just trying to keep that thing clean. That's enough talking, and it's time to get to work. All right, got the first shelves all cleaned up, and that's where I kept most of the paint, jack stands, random stuff here and there. That blue tote right there has been empty for I don't even know how long. Probably 7-8 months, just been chilling up there empty. So yeah, definitely a fail on my part right there. So right here, all these paints can go bye-bye. I'm gonna throw those away or actually take them somewhere where they can be disposed of. All the other paint gotta keep, you know, jack stands and whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead, clean off the shelves. They are pretty dusty up there. And then kind of figure out where I wanna put stuff. So it's the next day, you guys. I called it quits yesterday. It was getting pretty late. So we went ahead and we got pretty much the left side of the garage all done. So this is pretty permanent, I would say. I like, you know, where everything's situated right now. So we got engine parts and we got car parts and then some home stuff, more car parts for G8 Corvette stuff, bunch of Camaro and Corvette stuff up there. So most of this right here should go away. I gotta go sell all that. Same thing with the stuff that's in that box, which is the old dash and the cluster bezel and stuff like that for the Corvette. So we should free up a lot of space. We already have a whole basically section of space minus all the crud that's just sitting there right now. But we should have that cleared up here shortly and that cleared up here shortly. So bunch more space so far on this side. And you know, really not much left to do over here. So it should be a pretty easy, simple day and we'll get to it. So here's the garage all done up. Toolbox is nice and clean. Work area nice and clean. We got shelf space for days now. So like I was saying, this box is gonna be going away. I'll be selling the parts that are in that for the Corvette. And welder's nice and tucked. Jack stands, engine parts, car parts, you know, shop vac, all the basic essentials. So all this is staying, all that's staying. Most of that right there is going to be sold. And all of this right here, so these two boxes, these leaf spring mounts, the old shifter, you know, air cleaner, some old filters and whatnot, and these are extra suspension parts for the Camaro. All of those will be sold. And what these are some old aerospace component parts that we got from Dr. Tunemal. Got them from Nate, from a buddy. So he was using them. He didn't want them. He gave them to Nate, and then Nate gave them to us. So we would have ran these, but the only problem is, I think it's the other one. 2 of the pistons on the other caliper are kind of shredded up. So we'd have to rebuild them. Not a big deal. The rotors are actually in pretty good shape. Just a little spot, surface rust. The bearings are actually in pretty good shape as well. So just a little dirty. Nothing a little cleanup can't be done. But yeah, we'll probably go ahead and try to fix these up and either sell them or just sell them as is. So whole storage space up there, down there, and up there will be freed up. And then over here, we got everything nice and tidy. All the paints and painting supplies, all the kind of house / just random miscellaneous cleaners and whatnot. This is full of coolant actually, so I gotta be using that when we do the cam on the Corvette. Gotta drain the coolant system out, so that'll be full, and we'll go ahead and empty that. All the detail products right here, all the oils and lubricants, and then got our little this is actually a miter saw stand, and then your basic oil jug and whatnot. What's that full of? I can't remember. Oh no, that's a coolant one. That's the drywall mud. That's for home projects. So got excess microfibers and stuff in there. Engine's nice and tucked, so bumpers, that's going away. Like I was saying, the engine hoist, all of this stuff will be leaving as well. So the whole point of this was to get the entire side of the garage nice and tucked away. Same thing with this side. So when the Corvette and the Camaro in here, there's plenty of room. So the Corvette, this is a little wheel stop for the Corvette, so it stops right there. And then the Camaro, when I had it in here, was probably about a hand's distance from the compressor. So the door was probably about right here. So that'll clear the engine, just barely, but it'll clear enough. And it's not too big of a deal, because if we need to, we can always put the engine over here if we need to work on it in front of the Camaro. But other than that, it's all done. So that's going to be it for today, you guys. I know it wasn't anything really car related, but storage space is definitely crucial, especially with the amount of stuff that we got going on right now. So wanted to clean the garage up, get it all nice and fresh. That way we have more room. We can figure out what we need to get rid of and what we're keeping. Plus, I also wanted to show you guys the garage kind of more in depth about the paint and the cabinets and the shelving and stuff like that. So I know a few of you guys were interested in it. So hopefully I answered all your questions. If not, comment down below, like the video, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So thanks guys for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.